They'll tell you to leave yourself an option. They'll say, play it safe. Have a backup plan. Don't go all in. And they'll say it like they're protecting you. But really, they're projecting their own fears onto your dreams. Because deep down, you know the truth. No one ever built an empire by hedging their bets. When Herndon Court arrived on the shores of Mexico in 1519 with 600 men, he gave an order that has echoed through history. Burn the boats. No retreat. No plan B. Only one outcome. Victory. Or death trying. And that moment, an irreversible commitment, is what separates the ones who dabble from the ones who dominate. Look around you. Most people live with one foot in, one foot out. They try to start a business, but keep their resume polished. They want to be in shape, but still stock the pantry with excuses. They dream of greatness, but set their alarm clocks to mediocrity. They are prisoners of indecision, and indecision is the silent killer of dreams. It doesn't come with a scream. It comes with a sigh. It shows up in your procrastination, in your overthinking, in the countless tomorrows you promise yourself that never come. But decision, real decision, is a force of nature. When you make a true decision, the universe starts rearranging itself. Resources appear. People show up, not because of magic, but because you finally told your mind, this is happening, no matter what. That's the day you stop hoping, you stop waiting, you stop wishing. You decide. You slam the door shut on who you used to be. You turn the key and throw it away. You light a match to the bridges behind you, not because you're reckless, but because you're serious, because greatness doesn't answer the door when you're considering. It answers when you come kicking it down with conviction. Think of every game changer who ever lived. Edison didn't try 0 times. He committed 0 times. Lincoln didn't fail forward because he was lucky. He refused to stay down. Disney was told he lacked imagination, and still he built a kingdom. Ford was laughed out of the room, but still changed the world. What made them unstoppable? They didn't give themselves a way out. They burned the boats. They made a decision, and then lived into that decision like it was oxygen. So ask yourself, what are the boats in your life? That toxic job you swear you'll leave someday? That version of you that keeps making excuses? That little voice that whispers, let's just play it safe? Burn them. Burn the fear. Burn the fallback. Burn the idea that failure is final. Because it's not. Failure is just feedback. Quitting is the only death sentence. And until you remove the exit signs in your mind, you will always hesitate. But when you make a decision so deep, so permanent, so complete, you activate something ancient in your soul. You awaken the part of you that was built to lead, to build, to conquer. That moment is not loud. It's not dramatic. It doesn't need music or approval. It's quiet. It's still. But it is absolute. And once you've made it, there's no turning back. You are no longer someone trying to succeed. You are someone who must, because you didn't give yourself another option. So you've made the decision. You've burned the boats. Now comes the fire. Because when the way back is gone, the only direction left is forward. But here's the catch. You don't move forward by force alone. You move forward with vision, with a mind that sees clearly, even when the world goes dark. Mindset isn't a motivational phrase. It's not a cute wallpaper quote or a morning mantra. It's the operating system of your entire life. And most people, they're running on corrupted software. They've been programmed by failure, fear, other people's voices, and outdated beliefs. They say things like, be realistic. Don't get your hopes up. Success isn't for everyone. But tell me, when did small thinking ever build something big? Your future isn't written in the stars. It's written in your standards, and your standards are written in your thoughts. Thoughts become beliefs. Beliefs become identity. Identity becomes behavior. Behavior becomes habit. Habit becomes destiny. So if you want to change your destiny, don't start with your environment. Start with the conversation in your head. Stop saying, I hope I can. Say, I will. Stop asking, what if I fail? Ask, what if I never try? Stop saying, I'm not that kind of person. Decide, from today on, I am, and then get brutally clear on what you want. Clarity is power. Without a target, the archer hits nothing. Without a map, the sailor drifts in circles. Without a vision, your energy leaks into distraction, anxiety, and self-sabotage. So what's your vision? Not your wish, not your fantasy, your actual vision, the future you would stake your life on. Can you see it? Can you describe it in detail, like you've already lived it? The home, the body, the bank account, the peace, the impact, the strength, the freedom. Not someday. Not if everything goes right, but now planted so deep in your subconscious. It bends your behavior like gravity, because when your vision becomes stronger than your excuses, your life begins to change. Look at any titan of history. They didn't chase comfort. They followed a calling. Martin Luther King didn't march for applause. He marched because he saw a world that didn't yet exist, and he refused to believe it was impossible. Steve Jobs wasn't obsessed with profits. He was obsessed with elegant solutions to problems people hadn't even identified. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination. Yet he built dreams on land so empty. People called him insane. But they weren't insane. They were decisive. They weren't reckless. They were relentless. And most of all, they were clear. You want to know why you're stuck, why you wake up with anxiety instead of hunger, why your goals don't hit as hard as your doubts. It's because you haven't drawn the line yet. You haven't said, this is who I am. This is where I'm going. And nothing will pull me off course. That's not arrogance. That's purpose. Purpose is not a gift you find, it's a decision you make. It's you choosing to stand for something so deeply, so fully, so irreversibly, that the rest of your life must bow to it. And once you have that, you stop drifting. You stop begging for motivation. You stop waiting for the world to wake up and notice you, because now you're on fire. And fire doesn't ask for permission. Fire moves, fire consumes, fire creates, but it only starts when you burn the boats. But clarity alone is not enough. You can see the mountain. You can know every inch of the climb. You can stand at the base and declare, this is my path. But unless you move your feet, the mountain laughs in your face, because the world doesn't respond to what you believe. It responds to what you do. Action is the only language the universe understands. Not your intentions, not your affirmations, not the 15 self-help videos you watched last week. Discipline is the bridge between your vision and your victory. And without it, you are just a dreamer drowning in dopamine. Every empire was built on this quiet, unglamorous force. The wake, up before. Dawn kind of discipline. The do, it when, no, once watching kind of discipline. The repeat, it, even, when, it, hurts kind of discipline. Discipline is doing what must be done, long after the mood you set it in has died. And let me tell you something nobody wants to hear. Your feelings are not the steering wheel. They're the weather. And if you let the weather decide your direction, you'll spend your life going in circles, hoping the sun comes out. Winners act despite emotion. Losers act because of emotion. You don't need a better plan. You need a better relationship with discomfort. The pain of growth, temporary. The pain of regret, that one doesn't leave. So embrace the silence, the repetition, the grind. That's where power is built. When David Goggins ran 10 miles on broken feet, he wasn't inspired. He was committed. When Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times, he wasn't lucky. He was relentless. When you act every day like your life depends on it, eventually it starts to. But let's be clear, this world won't hand you what you haven't proven you're willing to take. It doesn't reward want. It rewards work. You want emotional strength? Put yourself in uncomfortable places and don't run. You want mental toughness. Take cold showers, hard conversations, brutal truth. You want peace? Not the soft kind, but the kind that can sit in chaos and not flinch. Then train your mind to respond, not react. Because discipline isn't just about habits. It's about who you become in the fire of repetition. It's about trusting yourself again. Because you've shown yourself over and over that when it's time to move, you move. No excuses, no drama, just movement. Discipline is the ultimate self-respect. It's you saying, I matter enough to keep my word to myself. And the more you do that, the louder your power becomes. Until one day, people start asking, how did you do it? And you'll say, I decided. Then I acted. Every single day, especially when I didn't want to. This is the difference. Most people are chasing results, but results are fickle. They're slow. They're invisible at first. And that's why most quit. Because they don't see fruit after planting the seed. But giants, they plant, then water, then wait. They don't stop because it's Tuesday and nothing happened. They keep showing up because they trust the process more than they fear the pain. So here's the question. Can you keep moving when no one is clapping? Can you keep building when no one is watching? Can you keep becoming when no one is validating? Because that's when it counts. Not when it's easy, not when it's popular, but when the only one who believes is you. And then comes the moment. The final gate, the razor's edge, where every excuse dissolves, every story you've told yourself crumbles, and you're left with nothing but one terrifying, liberating truth. You are responsible. Not your past, not your parents, not your circumstances, not your fears, only you. It's a brutal realization at first, because it means there's no one left to blame. But it's also the moment you become unstoppable, because once you own everything, you can change anything. This is the moment when average dies, when old identities are burned, when the maybe one day becomes today. Now, mine. This is where you burn the boats, where retreat is no longer an option, where the old version of you has no home to crawl back to. You think Cortez conquered the land because he had more men? No, he conquered because he destroyed the escape route. No plan B, no safe return, only victory or ash. So burn the boats, burn the I'll try, burn the let's see how it goes, burn the maybe if it's meant to be, because meant to be is a myth. What's meant to be is what you make it. Make it with your decisions, your will, your hunger, your refusal to quit when quitting would be the easiest thing in the world. This world doesn't belong to the most gifted. It belongs to the most decided. When Carnegie walked into steel mills barefoot, when Disney was told he lacked imagination, when Jordan got cut from his high school team, they didn't cry about fairness. They decided who they were and never looked back. That's the secret. Greatness isn't born, it's chosen. One decision at a time. And the greatest decision you will ever make is the decision to never retreat from who you were meant to be. You were not built to blend in. You were not made to shrink. You are not here to live a life of muted potential, waiting for permission, hoping the world notices your light. Light doesn't ask for attention. It simply burns. And if you burn long enough, bright enough, even the darkest room must yield. But it starts with this. You must rise, not with hype, not with borrowed motivation, but with the silent violence of full commitment. The decision is the match. Discipline is the flame, and the life you were destined for is the fire it lights. So no more playing small, no more waiting for the right time, no more trying to convince people who still don't believe in themselves. Burn the boats and build the life, one disciplined, defiant, decisive action at a time, because you were never meant to live halfway. You were meant to burn so completely in pursuit of your purpose that the world can never put you out. This is your time. This is your moment. Decide, act, burn, and become